Expect another hot and sunny day tomorrow. We'll see some strong storms on Friday, followed by some major heat over the weekend when we have some Viper 6 alert days in effect. I'll have all the details, plus a look at your temperatures coming up.
Now on News Channel 6 at 10, storm cleanup in Batesburg, Leesville. City leaders talk about how much it could cost. And we'll introduce you to some local students jumping their way into history and taking the state by storm. And a local college is holding a camp that teaches kids about cybersecurity. As your News at 10 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is Wjbf News Channel 6 at 10 on MeTV.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thanks so much for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins with a second Richmond County deputy arrested in the past few days. Christopher Masters is charged with sexual exploitation of children and violation of oath by a public officer. He was arrested today. Investigators say they got a tip Wednesday that Masters was involved in an inappropriate relationship with a juvenile and started their investigation. Masters resigned from his job before he could be fired. He's in jail at the Webster Detention Center. A Warrenton police officer also facing charges tonight. Investigators say they were called to a home on North Bel Air Road in Evans. When they arrived, a woman said she and her husband, identified as Warrenton police officer Michael Redekop, had an argument over messages on his phone when he grabbed her arm and pinned her down to take the phone from her. Redekop was arrested and charged with simple battery. The police chief in Warrenton says Redekop has resigned from his position. It is time now for a first look at our forecast. Here's meteorologist Jenna Petracci. Hot weather on the way, Jenna.
That's right, Jenny. It was already hot today, but the temperatures are going to continue to climb starting tomorrow and continuing throughout the holiday weekend. But right now, overall, pretty pleasant conditions. Here's a look at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam over at Washington Road. It's a dry night, and we had no rain today. Our high temperature, believe it or not, was actually still 2 degrees below average, topping off at 91 today. And our low temperature was well below average. We were in the mid-60s this morning. We had a cold front come through that brought in some slightly cooler and drier air, but the dew points are back on the rise, and our rain chances will be going up within the next couple of days. Right now, we're seeing a lot of 77s across the area, 77 in Allendale, Barnwell, Thompson, Evans, and McCormick, 75 in Millen, Augusta sitting at 73, still at that 80-degree mark in Lincolnton, 79 in Washington, and 78 in Sandersville. Clear skies for everyone tonight. We have a stationary front still across the area with high pressure out towards the west, bringing some extreme heat, especially towards Texas, all the way as far east as Alabama, and that high pressure will continue to shift in our direction. The dew points right now are anywhere from the mid-60s through mid-70s, 77 in Swainsboro, much more moisture down in our southern counties, 69 in Augusta and Aiken, and when we factor in the dew point over the next few days, that's what's going to make it feel way hotter than the actual temperature. Winds are very light right now, calm in the metro and in Aiken County, and for tomorrow morning, we'll start out mostly clear in the upper 60s, making it to 73 degrees at 8 a.m., a nice and sunny day once again, but certainly hot. Now on Friday, we'll have some strong storms that could become severe by the evening, and also Viper 6 alert days over the holiday weekend, not for the storms, but for the heat, as that heat index rises up to 110 degrees. Coming up, I'll have a look at all those temperatures in your 10-day forecast. But back to you, Jenny.
All right, Jenna, thank you. A week after torrential rains and heavy thunderstorms hit Batesburg, Leesville, the area has dried up, but the damage still remains. News Channel 6's Graham Lee has more details on how the town plans to move forward.
14 inches of rain in 1 week left Batesburg, Leesville underwater. All that water is gone, but it certainly left a mark.
We had a significant amount of damage, water flooding throughout town in places we've never flooded before.
Highway 1 reopened Friday after the train trestle was washed out, but there are still cones to accommodate ongoing construction. In other areas like Bobcat Road, people have passed by fallen trees for the last few days.
You know, it's the first time that I've seen it that bad. We've seen it a little bit, but it was pretty bad. It was pretty scary for a while.
Beth Fellow has lived at the one-way road for the last 5 years. In And she says last Thursday, the creek at the road overflowed, which required DOT to step in. On top of that being shut down for 5 hours, the storms caused them to lose internet.
The power was going on and off. I'm kind of fortunate. I have a generator that will automatically kick on when we do lose power. So when power does go out, it doesn't necessarily affect me. But we did have the internet we were without for a while.
So the question now is how the city will respond to the damage that's been done. Luckadoo says they have partnered with the Lexington County EMD for residents to report damage. And with phone calls still coming in, all they can do for now is be a listening ear.
That's all we can do at this point is just really try to understand who received damage, what that damage was, and then from there we're going to try to they've got a system through emergency management that will assign a dollar value to the damages.
The estimated damages on the high end are close to $1 million, but further assessment will need to be made. In Batesburg, Leesville, Graham Lee, WJBF, News Channel 6.
A group of fourth grade girls from Wagner has been taking the double Dutch jump rope world by storm. The group, known as Girl Squad, is made up of 9 and 10-year-olds who have taken home numerous national and state titles. Since they were founded in August of last year, they've been dedicated to being number 1. In fact, this past weekend, they won first place at a competition in New Jersey. They've been practicing every day at different locations in Sally and Wagner. Hope one day to have their own rec center where they can practice.
Also, I'm able to give back and pour out what was poured into me. It's a way of giving back. It's a youth outreach, and I'm also using it as a youth ministry as well, training champions for Christ with the incorporation of the sport of double dutch.
The group will compete for another national title in December at the Apollo Theater in New York, and they're hoping to take home the gold. This week, Augusta University is hosting a camp for kids that could prepare them for a future career. It's called Viceroy Kids Camp, and it's geared toward children with an interest in cybersecurity. Here's Kim Pickers with more.
We're trying to bring awareness to even younger kids so that by the time they get to high school and college, they already have a little bit of background in computer science and cybersecurity.
Camp Director Michael Nowakowski explains that Viceroy Kids Camp is an extension of AU's Viceroy program.
And what it tries to do is make college graduates more work ready for Department of Defense work roles related to cybersecurity.
This is the second year for the kids camp. Campers are learning things like how to spot phishing and ransomware attempts and how to keep from becoming a victim to hackers. 8th grade camper Karina Pope says it's her first year in the camp and she's learning a lot.
We did lots of coding, like what is coding, what is safety online, and things like that, cybersecurity, and then we did lots of activities like how to explain how to put together a puzzle, things like that.
Pope says that while she hasn't been in camp long, she already has a favorite activity.
We're actually currently working on coding a microbit, and that is very fun.
What is a microbit?
It's like a small piece of metal, I guess. You can code to do lots of things. Right now we're making faces, so you could do a smiley face or a heart or something. It lights up on the little piece of chip.
Last year the program had 40 campers, and this year they expanded to 75. Nowakowski says the response has been great.
The parents are really appreciative that they're able to send their kids here. We don't charge for the camp, so that also makes it a little bit attractive. So the kids always seem to enjoy it also. They have big smiles, and they're ready to come back the next day and learn more.
How neat is that? Georgia's Hope Scholarship has helped students financially for the last 30 years. Archis Seshadri explains how the Georgia Lottery helps the scholarship fund.
The Georgia Hope Scholarship has helped more than 2 million students at eligible state, public, and private colleges, providing more than $14 billion in financial aid.
The Georgia Lottery has returned more than $26.5 billion to the state for educational programs. These funds have benefited more than 2.1 million students through the Hope scholarships and grants, as well as over 2 million pre-K students.
Georgia Student Finance Commission says around 180,000 students qualify for the Hope program, with the numbers steadily rising year by year. Governor Brian Kemp took a moment to thank those who played the Georgia Lottery, which in turn he says has helped students and the state's economy.
Georgia Lottery, on average, raises more than $4 billion every day for these programs. Those are incredible numbers that deserve to be celebrated. But the real impact of the lottery is even deeper. It is measured in the students who are in good paying jobs all over the state because Hope gave them access to higher education.
Hope Scholarship provides tuition assistance for students in Georgia who graduate with a 3.0 GPA average for a Georgia college. For next year, students must maintain a 3.7 Hope GPA and earn at least a 26 on the ACT or a 1200 score on the SAT for the Zell Miller Scholarship. Reporting at the Georgia State Capitol, Archit Seshadri, Atlanta Bureau Chief.
The City of Aiken Arts Commission held a special meeting to discuss the removal of a mural on the side.
Selection and committed to quality customer service. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Good Wednesday evening. Time now is 10:13. Here's a live look at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam over at the Amentum Center in Aiken. A pleasant night, no rain to worry about, and temperatures are still on the warm side, sitting at 73 degrees. We have a dew point of 69, a muggy night with visibility down to 9 miles. We do have a little bit of passing smoke, and that'll be the case throughout the next couple of days as well. But overall, still plenty of sunshine in store for your Thursday, and another hot day on tap as well. Right now, we're sitting in the low 70s through upper 70s, 78 in Crawfordville and Sparta, 75 in Thompson, 82 still in Evans, Aiken at 77, 77 as well in Allendale, and 76 now in Millen. Clear skies for everyone other than that smoke we're seeing, and high pressure is taking over the southeast. It's been over towards the west over the past week or so, and it's eventually going to shift over, bringing us some heat alerts. But in the meantime, for Thursday, the most excessive heat will be anywhere from Alabama, the Florida Panhandle, all the way east or west into New Mexico. But things change as we go into the weekend, so our feels like temperature will stay up to around 99 for Thursday, then at 100 degrees Friday, and then things change Saturday. High temperatures making it to 97 degrees with the dew point on the rise, and that makes our heat index 110 degrees for the holiday weekend. So we do have Viper 6 alert days for both your Saturday and Sunday. Very consistent both days with isolated storms around as well. So remember to stay cool over the weekend, especially because there will be a lot of activities going on outside. It may look nice with the lack of rain, but you want to definitely stay cool and try to stay in the air condition as much as possible. And if you are outside, try to wear some light colored clothing and lightweight clothing as well, because that'll definitely help. Now for tomorrow, we're going to be right around average, topping off in those low 90s after starting out in the upper 60s. We're going to see some rain wrapped around that ridge of high pressure, and that's going to bring us the chance of storms on Friday. So let's go into our futurecast. Friday by 2 p.m. we'll start to see some storms pop up, then becoming more scattered by the evening. Some of these could contain some gusty winds and hail, especially for our northwestern counties, and then just some light showers by 11 p.m. So the Storm Prediction Center has placed a marginal risk of severe weather for Saluda County down towards the Crawfordville area. So once again, that's something we'll need to watch for Friday, and especially since there's going to be some 4th of July events starting Friday night. Fort Gordon event, Independence celebration with live music, carnival, and of course fireworks will be from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. right around the time we'll see those scattered storms. So if you're out there, definitely keep an eye on radar and head inside if you see any lightning. We're also watching the tropics, but no threats to the United States at this time. Upper 60s and low 70s tonight, and we'll see the low to mid 90s tomorrow. Your 10-day forecast showing the heat, Viper 6 alert days Saturday and Sunday, heat index up to 110, and a hot week next week as well with 40% chances of rain. Back to you, Jenny.
Up next, billions of COVID aid dollars ended up in the wrong hands. We'll tell you how when we come back.
Are you too hot? Beat the summer heat with a window AC unit from Davis Appliance and Furniture for as low as $299. We offer a cool, no credit needed financing options to meet your needs. For the brands you trust at the lowest prices in town, visit us at Davis Appliance and Furniture.
When a child is sick,
are you too hot? Beat the summer heat with a window AC unit from Davis Appliance and Furniture for as low as $299. We offer a cool, no credit needed financing options to meet your needs. For the brands you trust at the lowest prices in town, visit us at Davis Appliance and Furniture.
A new report reveals reveals that the Small Business Administration distributed more than $20 billion in potentially fraudulent COVID-19 relief funds. Anna Warnicki has the details.
As much as $200 billion intended to help small businesses during the pandemic ended up in the hands of fraudsters. That's according to this report released by the Small Business Administration. Its inspector general found in one case a group of 8 individuals used $18 million of relief funds to buy luxury homes, gold coins, diamonds, and designer handbags.
In the beginning, there was a rush to get out money, so the Small Business Administration, in 14 days after the law was passed for the pandemic relief, in 14 days they gave out $349 billion.
But while racing to help small businesses, Bob Restbrooks, the former executive director of the Pandemic Response Accountability Committee, says the SBA relaxed its standards.
There was a lot going on in early 2020.
Katie Frost with the SBA says most of the potential fraud found by the report happened during the first 9 months of the pandemic.
The prior administration did take down some anti-fraud controls that the Biden-Harris administration put back in place.
Frost says one of those controls is the Treasury Department's Do Not Pay system that other government agencies use to detect fraudulent requests.
There doesn't need to be this false trade-off between speed and certainty.
The SBA is working with federal investigators to recover the stolen money. In the meantime, lawmakers on Capitol Hill say they plan to hold hearings about what went wrong. In Washington, I'm Anna Warnicki.
There's so many options when it comes to choosing a personal injury lawyer.
Some claim to get you big bucks, and some say they never lose. So how do you choose?
We say, at the end of the day, it's not about us. It's about you.
It's about you.
At the Icos Law Firm, we will work to get you the justice you deserve.
Glass crackers, black cats, Godzilla grill. Of course we got big rockets. I bet your candles smell like peppermint and rosemary. Well, ours smell like gunpowder and freedom. Come see us right by I-20, right off Riverwatch, and right behind the Waffle House. Joe Dirt Fireworks. We got the good stuff.
And last but not least, an Augusta native is bringing home a silver medal.
She participated in the Special Olympic World Games in Berlin.
News Channel 6's Brandon Dawson has the story. Augusta native and Academy of Richmond County graduate Raven Allen is returning from an amazing journey. She competed in the 2023 Special Olympics World Games in Berlin.
It was for kayaking. I did the 200 singles, and then 200 tandem, and then 500 singles.
When Raven first heard she'd be competing, she couldn't believe it.
I thought it was a dream. I thought my coach was pulling my leg. I really did. And then look now. I competed, and look what happened.
Raven is no stranger to competition.
I'm part of an organization. It's called the Augusta Stars, and we compete in different sports like kayaking, basketball, volleyball, horseback riding, cycling, bowling.
And she's been kayaking for 4 years and loves the sport.
It's the thrill. It keeps my adrenaline going. It keeps me going. It makes me think hard. Makes me push myself to the limits.
Raven's hard work paid off, and she came home with several medals, including a silver medal in the 200-meter tandem kayaking event with her partner, Caleb.
Our reaction was like, we did it. And then I think at the end, we was like, we deserve a sweet tea at the end. We deserve a sweet tea at the end.
Did you get a sweet tea?
We did get a sweet tea at the end.
Congratulations, Raven.
Well done.
That's all our time. The news continues to the top of the hour on News Channel 6.
Hogan's Heroes. Next. Here.